All right, everybody, welcome to Outlander Media Network. I'm Kirby Lee Bailey. I'm with
Jaycee Clark of A Light Divided.
and we're going to talk about little things about her band, Light Divided. Right now, we're going to talk about her new single, Rain. Talk about it, my dear.
All right, we just put Rain out a few weeks ago, and I am so stoked that the reaction to it has been so positive so far. I felt like we kind of took a risk there. It was originally very different than the one that's out now, a little bit darker in tone, a little bit more synth production heavy. But something about it just didn't necessarily feel right to me. I felt like it was lacking a certain rawness and vulnerability that I felt like it needed because the topic of the song is so heavy. So yeah, I just kind of decided to throw away everything that we had worked on and write a song that I wanted to create instead of just pushing something that I thought people would want to hear from us. So yeah.
Well, I mean, I've seen the videos of your band. Like I said,
Yeah.
I've seen y'all. It's been years ago, so when are we touring?
We just got home from a tour a couple of weeks ago. We were out doing the East Coast and promoting the single, and you know, it was really great to be able to stand on stage and talk to people more about what it's about, and to, you know, give people like a sense of community. And you know, depression and mental health is hard, so I just wanted to stand up there and, you know, continue to normalize talking about it and just admitting that it's okay to feel like shit sometimes, and you don't always have to pretend like everything's okay when it's not.
You know, you talk about it's mainly dealing with mental health.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what a coincidence. Me and my camera lady over there, we do work in mental health when we're not
Nice.
doing this.
Very cool.
Believe it or not.
I love that. Yeah, I'm a big advocate for it as someone who struggles with, you know, depression, anxiety, ADHD, name it. But I think it's important to, you know, talk about it, especially, I'm not a huge band, but if I have any kind of platform, I always just want to continue to talk about it, open up the conversation, because I can stand at the merch table and talk to people. So if anybody, you know, doesn't feel like they can open up to the people in their life, and, you know, maybe a song has helped them through it, then I'm happy to be able to have conversations with people and help them feel a little bit more seen, less alone, you know, all of that.
Well, you're a first for us. You're our first person that we've interviewed that's Nashville based. Or is the band now based out of Nashville, or were y'all originally based out?
Half of us are in Nashville now, the other half are still in North Carolina. So we rehearse for tours in North Carolina, and we record here in Nashville. So we kind of have a little balance when it comes to that sort of thing. But I've been here for 2 years now, and greatest move I've ever made. I love it here. Like, I'm the welcoming committee of Nashville at this point. Anytime someone's coming through, I'm like, well, let me take you to get some hot chicken. Let me show you the bars. Like,
What you like about Nashville? What do you like going the best?
Other than Hattie B's, because I love chicken and I love spicy. I don't know, I just really like walking around Midtown and like Music Row and just, you know, being around music all the time. Like, it feels like no matter where I go in Nashville, there's something really inspiring. You never know who you're gonna run into. There's always somebody to talk about music with, and that's what I love. So it's really great to be in a city where people kind of understand you and what you're trying to do, as opposed to in North Carolina, when you're like, oh, being in a band is so hard sometimes, and they're like, well, just go get a regular job then. I'm like, well, I don't really want to do that. That's not the point. So here it's like, people are like, oh yeah, and you can kind of swap stories about things and, you know, learn from people and pick up some like wisdom that you may not have necessarily been able to get outside of that.
Like I say, we kind of live in Nashville and Knoxville.
Yeah.
And like I said, I've been based here out of Nashville since I was, I'm not gonna say how old I am,
Secret.
at least be vulnerable. I look good for my age, but I've been here since I was 20, in and out.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes I'm here, sometimes I'm in Knoxville. Like, one of my favorite places to go here in Nashville, I took her to the restaurant today, the Flat Tire Diner down the street.
Right on.
And then there's our favorite movie theater. It's on this side, called the Full Moon Horror
Okay.
Theater.
Oh, I've not heard of that. I have to check it out.
You need to check it out. They did her a movie on Friday nights. We were trying to get the interview done there.
That'd have been sick.
Yeah.
It seems like a good time of year.
Well, you go in there like in the weekend.
Yeah.
And I mean, in October, they have Slaughterhouse attached to it too. It's the longest running horror house, haunted house in Nashville. And so we'll go up there to dinner and a movie on a Friday or Saturday night.
Nashville.
There's always something to do in Nashville.
Absolutely. It's what's great about it. Like, there's always something to do. I am sort of a hermit, and I like closing the blinds and just staying in and doing that whole thing too. But when you do want to go out, there's always something crazy to do here. Like, always a show to go to, always like a movie or something crazy going on, themed for the season, and that's all the kind of like wholesome fun that I like. So.
Well, like, you toured with Vans Warped. And which year did you do that with Vans Warped?
It was 2009. That was like forever ago.
Oh my God! How long has this band been together?
I started this band in 2007 when I was a baby, and it was the first band that I've ever started. So I had no idea what I was doing, just completely green, and just, wanted to create something where I could, like I said, feel safe enough to express myself, because I'm typically really shy and didn't feel like I could talk to anybody. So I found writing and performing music gave me a sense of community that I didn't necessarily have before. So I just sort of found my way through this, and we had an opportunity to do Warped Tour, and I still didn't know what I was doing. It wasn't until 2018 that I was like, okay, I know who I am, I know what I want to do. I think I'm ready to create a full-length album that reintroduces this band as me as an adult, and poof, here we are now.
I was a big fan of Vans Warped, and the reason I liked Vans Warped so well was it was a one-day fucking festival.
Yeah, you just go in
there, have a good time. You go in there from sun up to sundown, and you have a blast.
The best time. I loved Warped Tour. I was used to go all the time, every year, because so many of my favorite bands played, and you got to see so many of them just one after the other, and just ping-ponging all over this parking lot for the most part. So I was so stoked when I got to have an opportunity to be even a tiny part of it. So that was literally bucket list checked off.
Like a festival that was around, it might have been before you were around. How old are you?
36.
Oh yeah. This is way before you. This was back here in Nashville. We used to have a place called Starwood Amphitheater years ago. It was on Murfreesboro Road.
Yeah.
Now you got Ascend down in downtown Nashville. And they used to have, I don't know if you ever heard of this, they used to have this traveling tour, Lilith Fair.
I remember hearing about that with Sarah McLachlan and Jewel and all of them. Yes.
I don't know, I think they should have a festival here in Nashville, have it at the Super Speedway. They used to have Vans Warped, and do it with the same setup, but maybe, have a different name for it.
Yeah.
And you do all kinds of female bands, female-led bands like Light Divided, maybe have Katy Perry playing.
Yeah.
Have your Hailstorms, your In This Moment.
Yeah, because I think there's so many women in rock specifically right now that span so many genres that we could really pull something cool like that off, because I feel like we're finally getting to a place in rock where being a female in a band isn't looked at as a gimmick anymore. Which I feel like for a very long time it was they have a girl, it's whatever, it's not real rock and roll. But the tides are changing, Future is female, get into it. So I would love to be a part of something like that.
I mean, I like I said, I've talked about her about it. I said, we thought if we got big enough down the road, we'd sponsor one.
Yeah.
As long as it was a one-day event that we could all have fun and start up at 11 o'clock and end. And you can have the same stage setup. I mean, Vans Warped had 6 stages at it, and you could have 2 over here, 2, and as long as you got the alternating thing going.
Yeah. You can have your vendors that are woman-owned businesses and all of that. I think that would be super cool. I'm all about it. We're going to get in business now. It's happening.
Well, one of the things I loved about the festivals like Vans Warped and some other festivals earlier was used to, before, Louder Than Life and all of them came into play, the festivals would have individual merch stands where you actually met the artist, and I felt like the art, So, you know, and it's more profitable for the artists because they're meeting the people, and a lot of people, you know, when they go up there and meet them, they're gonna buy something.
Yeah, absolutely, and I love that. Like I said, like I remember growing up as a girl getting into music, like there was always, you know, like Amy Lee and Hayley Williams, but they weren't artists that were accessible to me to like talk to and ask advice from or anything like that. So I love that we're in a place now where you can do meet and greets with so many bands or go out and see smaller artists and be able to like pick their brain a little bit and kind of get like a real life look at what it's like to be in their shoes. So I am all about that.
I mean, you got lots of artists, you know, right now, it would be good to have a female driven festival because you look at who's the biggest artist in music right now. And it is a female. It's Taylor Swift.
Absolutely, my queen, my mother. Like she pays my bills.
I mean, I've not figured out. You know, I've seen so many artists when they switch gears, and then people say, "Oh, you sold out." And whenever she switches gears, everybody buys in. I'm like, what are you doing different from everybody else that you seem to get it every time? Like you could go up there. Taylor Swift plays the Spoons for 30 minutes and all of a sudden it's a platinum selling album for some reason.
Yeah, I think that what she does is she does a really great job at connecting with her fans and, you know, making them feel like they are a part of her growth and like, as opposed to just like her doing her own thing and then like money buy. I mean, obviously she's the queen of capitalism too. She's gonna sell her stuff and she's gonna make her money. But I feel like so many of her fans have grown up with her and they're so eager to support her because they've known her since she was like a 13-year-old girl here in Nashville, and now she's a 30-year-old woman at the peak of her career doing like a greatest hits tour essentially right now. Like it's so inspiring, and I think she really does a great job at like staying humble. Like you see things about her giving her truck drivers $100,000 bonuses with handwritten notes to thank them for their service and helping the tour like run smoothly, and like you just don't see stuff like that about a lot of artists. So power to you, Taylor Swift. You're an inspiration.
So if you were to be invited on any tour, who would be the artist you'd want to be invited on? The number one pick of your dream tour?
A Day to Remember. That is my favorite band of all time. Like I found the Homesick album right at the beginning when I was starting this band, and they have sort of been the Bible in my personal roadmap for like being a band in this industry. And so I am actively manifesting the ability to sing if it means a lot to you with them just one time. Game changer. I love that band so much, and I would absolutely love to tour with them. The way that they mix genres and they're just unafraid to do their own thing, whether people, you know, talk shit about them or what they're doing or not. They're just true to who they are, and they just the one lyric in their song, "Keep your hopes up high and your head down low," it has been my personal motto forever.
Like when you're not doing your music thing, what do? Do you work around here in Nashville?
I work in studios. I do session vocals, and I'm always trying to be involved in music and staying creative. So it's just what I love to do. So I have sort of coming to Nashville has really allowed me to base my life around being able to create as much music as possible, whether that's, you know, singing harmonies or choir vocals on other people's songs or doing my own thing or, you know, just doing reference vocals for people. I'm here. I'll do it all.
Like you noticed the Jaws memorabilia over here.
I did.
You love, is Jaws your number one movie? It's definitely mine.
It's one of my number one movies for sure. I don't know what my all-time favorite movie would be. I'm fickle and it changes like all the time. So.
What kind of type of movies do you do normally when you go to the movie? You go to the movie theater?
I do. I've seen a lot of horror movies. I've seen a lot of comedy movies. Comedy is kind of like my number one. I think that life is so serious that I like to allow myself time to laugh and just forget about, you know, how heavy stuff can be from time to time. So I feel like it's a
comedy this year?
This year, the last movie that I saw was a horror movie, so I can't say that.
What was it?
I saw the movie Talk to Me.
Oh, that was excellent.
Oh my God, I literally saw it like 2 days ago. It was incredible. It had screwed me up going to sleep, but totally worth it. That's how you know it's a good movie. But the whole time I was like, why are you doing that? I don't like that.
Well, great
movie though.
Funny thing was that day we went and saw Talk to Me, and we also saw probably one of the best comedies we'd seen this year was Theater Camp.
Oh, really? I haven't seen that.
Yeah, we saw a double feature at Green Hills, went over that area.
Nice.
So
Very cool.
So sometimes we love our comedies too.
Yeah.
Don't get us wrong; they will put you in a good. I mean, the comedy that put me in the best mood this year was probably that Barbie movie.
See, I haven't seen it. I want to see it, but I just haven't had the chance yet. It's basically been all horror movies this year. I said I saw Talk to Me, and the last one before that I saw was the Scream movie. I'm a big Scream fan. Like Scream growing up was my number one for sure.
Yeah, we went and saw Scream. We saw Scream. We saw it in 4D. So.
Oh yeah, same. That was my first time.
We might have been at the same thing because we came over in Nashville and saw it.
I don't remember what theater it was that I saw.
If it was 4D, it had to be Opry Mills.
It had to be Opry, yeah. But I wasn't expecting that at all. And like things are like shooting out. I'm like, oh, I was not prepared for this.
And see, that Exorcist movie that you're talking about, it's gonna be an IMAX, so I guarantee it's gonna be in 4D.
That's gonna be it.
I mean, October's got 3 real good horror movies. It's got Saw coming out again, and it's got also Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be an interesting October.
Yeah, I feel like I watch a lot of my comedy movies at home, but the horror movies are so much fun in the theater because just being in that atmosphere, it's just like all the scares hit a little harder for me. So it's just been a lot of fun.
Yeah, because it's like that sound making.
Yeah, and now we're in spooky season, or at least we're entering into it. It's always spooky season in my heart, but yeah, I'm really excited for Exorcist coming up.
We're getting ready to wrap it up. Appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule. Love having you here.
It's been a blast.
And Catch Light Divided, when are you going to be on the road?
We've got a couple of dates that we're getting ready to announce soon for next month. So enjoying a little bit of time to be back here in Nashville, work on some more new music, and then get right back out there. And
anything coming to Nashville or Knoxville?
Hopefully soon. I'm hoping that at least at the beginning of next year we'll come back to Nashville. We were just here a few weeks ago, and it was my first time playing here since being a resident, so that felt like a big deal.
Where'd you play?
At this place called Dark Matter, which I'd never been to before.
That one.
Yeah, it was just like this little hole in the wall, but it had really cool vibes. So I'm all about it. Like,
hey, you
we played the end several times, so it was nice to.
The end.
Yeah, so it was nice to check out a new spot, but you never know, we might pop up somewhere.
And is it Casey or Jaycee? It's
Jaycee.
Jaycee.
Yeah.
Is that your real name or is that your stage
No,
name?
it's my stage. It's my initials spelled out to be current. I double eat it because
we were looking at that because I was like, oh, that's her real name. It's pretty big. All right, well, me, Jaycee Clark, follow her new song, Rain, on all social outlets, Spotify, Amazon.
All the things. Mama needs her 0.006 cents per stream.
Hey, please, think about her. And Catch a Light Divided on all social platforms, Facebook, Instagram.
The talk.
They're in com, and they'll be on Outlander Media Network in probably about a week. YouPorn. I'm messing it.
Find one of my bandmates.
Terrible joke. All right, we appreciate you calling in and peace out, y'all.
I spend enough time thinking. I get strung out when my brain stops feeling. Always awake, I'm awake, but I'm dreaming. I seem okay, our looks deceiving. But you'll never know, 'cause I'll never show.